Hey there, this needs Beardfoot, and today we're making a giant mushroom leg armor from leather. Get your pattern printed, cut it out and transfer it onto the leather. For the base here we only use 3.5mm thick wedge tan leather, or 9 ounce, but also for the mushrooms we need thinner leather. After everything is cut out, we want to bevel the edges. We're going to sew on the mushrooms later, so we need also a few sewing holes. Also these round holes for putting on the straps. After this we can moisten our leather completely from both sides to start tooling. With your swivel knife you want to pre-cut all the lines and use then a backgrounder and a beveler to deepen everything. A stone can be really helpful here to give everything a more rough and natural look. For dyeing, I can as always recommend really airbrushing here. I'm going over it with a light brown coat and then on the edges some dark brown. With some 1000 grit sandpaper we create some highlines on the high areas. And then we can use some resist as finish on the leather. You also can put it on the edges to use the moisture for burnishing. After 2 coats of resist dried completely, I use some antique gel to put it everywhere and then use a paper towel to wipe away all the excess. It sticks only in the deep area and creates more depth when you look at the piece. Another coat of resist to also protect the antique gel. For our mushrooms we need 1.5 and 2.5mm wedge tan leather here. Cut out these shapes and then also punch some sewing holes all over the edge. Next we take the thicker one, which will be the top, bevel the edge and dye it. In my case I use some light purple first and then go for some dark purple droplets. And here as well we use resist to protect the leather. The thinner part of the mushrooms we want to moisten completely. After a little bit of drying time we can start to sew. First start only with a knot. And then we create a knot over the edge while folding the leather, and this way this fold stays in there soon. To achieve that we go through the next sewing hole, but not all the way, just until we create a loop and then go from the other side of the leather through this loop, bend the leather and then tighten this knot, so the bend stays in place. When done right, we get this wavy chain looking edge. Then we want to use our fingers to lengthen these folds all over the piece. This will be the mushroom bottom side. Once done and more or less dry, we can start to sew the pieces together. To finish the shape we want to moisten the top side and then bend it into the shape that we like. Mostly want to press out the front and then bend in the sewing edge at the back. Doing this a few times and we got ourselves a bunch of mushrooms. In these areas we want to sew them on. The difficult part is we want to do it invisible. To achieve this, after the first edge, we want to sew it on very, very loosely, and we would need quite a bit of thread here for this. And just until we don't have enough thread anymore, we go on the back side and then tighten these threads. This will give us a lot more room to work with and sew this on. It turned out quite laborious to use 2 threads to sew it on. So later on, I just used 1 thread and this was quite a lot easier. This is why we see on the bottom part the complete sewing line and the others just every second. We want to shape our mushroom pieces along our leg, so we have to moisten them completely, or especially the mushrooms, to give ourselves an easier time to bend the whole piece. Because the thing is that these mushrooms need to be bent as well, and if they're not moist, you will have a really difficult time to bend the whole piece. To attach the pieces together, I like to use backpack straps, but every strong material that comes in straps will do. Cut some holes and then press the rivets through. Note that on one side, the upper side, we need a long rivet. On the bottom side, we can start to rivet the pieces together. On this highest piece, it's a little bit more complicated. We got our lashes and we go with a long rivet, go through the one hole for the back side on the top, through the top hole, and then rivet the front on. Now we put the strap from the other pieces just through the lower hole and rivet it on as well. And this is it. It's a simple build, but with the mushrooms has a cool, nice twist to it. And apart from these, it's also very simple. So if you're a beginner, this might be a project for you. I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, please consider subscribing. But if not, it's fine too. See you guys in the next video. Have a great day.